What's up? Welcome to The World here on 24K Music Network. I'm David Longoria. This time in the studio I have a very, very talented young man, Mr. Jeff Oster. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. And I love the young man part.
Oh, I emphasize that.
and it's most appreciated.
Jeff, for those people who don't know you, if they've been living under a rock,
That's nice.
they would not know that you play the trumpet.
Yes.
And the flugelhorn.
And flugelhorn, yes.
And if you're feeling cheap that day, would it be a frugelhorn?
Well, it'll be a pocket trumpet. It's a little smaller version.
So now you live in the Bay Area.
I do, yes.
You did live in Los Angeles some years back.
Yeah,
I think I know the whole story.
Yeah,
here.
about 20 years I was down here.
20 years?
Yeah.
Well, let's take that young man part off then. No, we're not taking that off at all.
That's very good.
So,
but I only moved here when I was 1. So.
There you go. So now you play up in the Bay Area a lot. And you just put out a new album this year.
I did.
And it's a very nice album. It's called Next. And so how did that come about?
Well, it's produced by Will Ackerman and his engineer and also co-producer Tom Eaton and myself.
Nice. Now, for those who don't know Will Ackerman, Will is famous for doing Windham Hill Records and a whole line of instrumental things that are kind of very musical, very pretty.
Yeah, he's sort of one of the first finger-style guitarists, Grammy winner for New Age, I think in 2005 or something like that, for Returning, his sort of collection of his past works.
Nice.
And yes, he founded Windham Hill. And I worked with Will, this would be our third full album together, and I started working with him back in 2003. It was time came for a new album. My last one was released in 2011, so it's been several years. And I approached him to help me with this one because he has a beautiful studio up in Brattleboro, Vermont. And since he records very sparse acoustic guitar music, his microphone technique and preamps and all those things, it's my favorite place to record my horn. Because it gets all of the information, and I'm a tone guy, so there's a softness to, a lot of times to my playing, and those kind of that recording technique and style, and his production guidance is perfect, melody wise. We have a good relationship.
It's all about the melody.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely,
you would know.
We're into that for sure. And the ability to record things in the best possible way is critical.
It's key
to making things right. I have a collection of ribbon microphones and tubes from the 1940s,
that's nice.
And that's where they sounded nice. And
right.
preamps matter, all this stuff matters. But that's the technical stuff. Now let's talk about the music. Like what inspires you?
Well, for me, it's in a particular moment. A lot of times, it's has to do with who I've been listening to and what's in my world at any given point in time. And so this album, I have Nile Rodgers and I have Chuck Rainey and Bernard Purdie. And those. And
these, for people who don't know, these are great studio guys who've been laying it down for some wonderful records.
Aretha and a lot of the Steely Dan stuff, Asia, and all those great things
during the era where everything mattered like that.
Right,
the groove mattered
exactly. And so for me, I've come from that era to a large degree, and I have this thing where when I'm starting to work on an album, and it almost happens. It's like in the moment. Like with Bernard Purdie, I was at my computer and I was watching one of these YouTube videos with there's an outtake to the Steely Dan sessions where they're talking to Bernard about he has the sign up of you've done it, you hired the hit maker, and he puts it up next to his drums and all this stuff. And he's talking about it in the Purdie Shuffle, which is what he's like really, really very known for. And I'm seeing this, and then I went into another live video with Bernard and Chuck Rainey in Japan with a group, and I'm looking at him saying, man. So I went to Bernard's website and I called him. Bernard, I'm making an album. Would you be interested? And this is how I've gotten almost any of the players on my different albums, by just asking. So he called, about a day later he called back. And we talked and I found out what he needed and where he wanted to record, and he agreed to do it. And so after that, then I reached out to Chuck Rainey because they've worked together on all these great albums. Chuck, I have Bernard, what do you think? And he was So the two of
So
them.
you're being a producer.
Well,
You
we're
put this
putting together,
now I've
right.
got this, I'll add this to
Exactly,
it.
you
I've
know.
done that a couple of times.
And then what ends up happening is, I had been working on these demos, and I always do them, with drum machines and bass synths or something like that. But then I always, my method is always to take those to the studio and then replace with live performances, the various
Right.
tracks that
to
I
keep them in time, in
right,
tune. Yeah.
exactly. And so what ends up happening, of course, when you bring the live artists like that to it, it morphs the record.
Yeah.
It turns into something more than you thought it was going to be.
If people want to hear you play,
Mm-hmm.
and I know they will, and is it on your website? Is there a calendar there?
Yes, at jeffoster.com, and that's
Okay.
JEFF
Let's put it here.
OSTER.com.
That's nice, huh? You
It's
like
beautiful.
that type style?
It's gorgeous.
It is
And
pretty.
from reverse is even better.
Oh, it
actually,
looks
like
good
that.
from the side.
It does.
You should see the backside of water sometime. Run it and just look at the other side.
It's beautiful.
It's eye-opening.
Let it rain.
Yeah, that too. So have people check that out, and
Yeah.
also if you are on YouTube, aren't you?
I do have a channel, yes, it's YouTube, and that ends with my name spelled backwards, Fejretso, FFEJRETSO.
You're kidding me, right?
I'm serious. It's
Let's put it up here.
YouTube.com/Fejretso.
That is cool. Was that just a long night before you typed it in?
It's actually a high school. It's two things. It's a high school name that I had, and I use it a lot of times online. And then when I realized that YouTube locks you into that as the name of your channel, I wanted to change it to like Jeff Oster Music, but it was too late.
It was too late.
So now it's Fejretso.
Well, I have Jeff Oster music. now,
Oh,
by the
so
way.
that's why.
You know
I knew
what?
it.
That's funny because I wonder if everybody knows what their name is backward. Do you think people do that, or
I don't know. It's fun though.
I'm Divad Aragnol?
Is that really what it is?
Yes,
You know,
and
see?
I just figured it out.
That's-
But
that's-
no, actually,
You should do it. It's actually
I
it
will
can be interesting.
immediately.
It's almost like you're from outer space, like your outer space name.
Well, people
kind
have been talking about that for years.
of. Well, that's
with me,
true.
so there
Even
you
with
go.
your name going forward. Probably.
Exactly. Well, I hope we can do something. And
man.
let's take just a second here, and maybe we can slide this in. Maybe we'll let's do a number together.
I would love it.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll be right back.
Take my hand, lead me to the floor once. Till I can't dance no more. Feel that rhythm pounding in your soul. Lose control, lose control.
Lose Control is the new single from April Diamond. Download it now on iTunes, Amazon, and everywhere you get your great music.
Sweet.
Download Zoomba Loomba now. It's the instrumental hit that made Billboard magazine history this year. Check out David Longoria's song Zoomba Loomba on iTunes, Amazon, and wherever great music is found.
Thank you, Jeff. It's been great having you here with us.
My pleasure, my friend.
And we'll see you next time.
I look forward to it.
And you guys, we'll see you next time too. I'm David Longoria. Welcome to the world.